Hi, this is Ning. Welcome back to the Soul Memory series, a soft space for remembering what the soul has always known long before the mind ever has word for it. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you've been gone from yourself, even while living your life on autopilot? That subtle sense of distance, of operating without your own light, is more common than you think. Today we explore the moment when the soul finally returns, when it comes home after being lost for a very long time. Take a slow breath and let's begin. 1. The soul doesn't get lost because it's weak, it gets lost because it's loyal. Here's a question. How does the soul, something ancient and wise, lose itself at all? Not suddenly, slowly, over years of carrying other people's burdens, shrinking to keep the peace, staying in places that dim you, suppressing your truth, surviving instead of living, becoming who others needed, forgetting your own voice. The soul learns to adapt, to be loyal, to belong, to keep you functioning inside the life you built. But loyalty has a cost. One day the soul becomes tired, dim, quiet, not gone, just buried under everything you held for too long. So the real question becomes, what happens when we drift too far from who we are? 2. Being lost means living far away from your inner frequency. The soul feels lost not because it disappears, but because your life stops matching your truth. This happens when you act differently from who you really are. You stay where you no longer fit. You hide parts of yourself. You ignore your intuition. You make choices from fear. You forget what brings you alive. This creates a gap, a distance between your life and your essence, and the soul gets lost in that distance. But how does the return begin? 3. The return begins with a crack, not clarity. Souls rarely come home in dramatic awakenings. They return through small fractures in your life. A question. Have you ever had a moment that broke you open, but somehow felt like something was being restored? Cracks appear through heartbreak, burnout, sudden endings, loss, grief, silence, realizations you can't unsee. Breakdowns that feel like failure, but they are not failure, they are openings. Cracks allow the light back in. Cracks make space for your soul to breathe again. 4. When the soul returns, it feels like remembering something ancient. People expect the return to feel dramatic, but it's almost always subtle, like remembering something familiar that you didn't know you forgot. You start remembering what peace feels like, what truth feels like, what safety feels like inside your own chest, the sound of your real voice, the things that make you come alive, the version of you that existed before fear. The return doesn't feel like discovery, it feels like recognition. A soft whisper inside says, "This is me," and once that whisper begins, everything changes. 5. The moment of return is quiet, not loud. We often imagine awakening as lightning, but the real turning point is much quieter. It's the soft moment when you say, "I can't keep living like this," or "I'm ready to stop pretending," or "I want something true," or "I miss myself," or simply enough. That whisper is not weakness. It is the first breath of your soul returning home. So what happens next? 6. When the soul comes home, life quietly reorganizes itself. As your soul comes back online, your outer life begins to shift. Not dramatically, but steadily, inevitably. You may notice certain people fade away, new people enter, old habits dissolve, boundaries rise, clarity sharpens, intuition gets louder, peace becomes non-negotiable. You stop betraying yourself. You stop carrying what isn't yours. Things that were heavy begin to loosen. Things that confuse you start to make sense. Life realize itself around your truth. But if home isn't a place, where does the soul actually return to? 7. Coming home is not about location, it's about resonance. The soul doesn't come home to a city, a person, or a house. It comes home to a frequency, to the place inside you where you stop abandoning yourself. You tell the truth. You choose what aligns. You listen to your intuition. You move without fear. You allow peace. You trust yourself again. Home is not an external destination. It's an internal vibration. And you come home every time you choose yourself. So what does that mean for the soul's return? Age. The soul was never truly lost. It was waiting for you to turn around. Coming home means you stop running. You stop shrinking. You stop dimming your light. You stop abandoning your inner voice, and you return to the place where your being feels whole again. Coming home is the moment the distance between who you are and how you live becomes zero. The soul was never gone. It was simply waiting, patiently, quietly, lovingly, for the moment you were ready to return to yourself. And when you do, the soul doesn't walk back. It rushes back like a tide of light that has always belonged to you. Thank you for listening. In the next episode, we explore the mechanics of forgetting and why the soul remembers only when the timing is right. I'm Nin. See you in the next layer.